We are reading Transfer of Property Act Part 2. I have already made Part 1. You can see this in comment section or YouTube description box. So, rules relating to transfer of property. Transfer may be. Transfer. What does the word transfer means? It may be gift, sale, mortgage, pledge, charge, lease, external claims. Okay? We know what does the word gift means. Gift, it includes sale as well as mortgage, pledge, charge, lease also, actionable claims. The meaning of transfer, whether movable or movable. Section 5 of Transfer of Property Act. Meaning of transfer. Transfer of property means an act. It is an act, okay, by which a living person conveys property in present or in future. The transfer may be in present or it may be in future to one or more other living persons. So the word living persons and living persons, the transferor and the transferee must be living at the time of transfer. That's why it is transfer inter vivos. So to whom? To one or more. Number one, to one or more other living persons. Number two, to himself. He can transfer this property to himself as well. And himself, an example will be trust. And three, and one or more other living persons. To himself and one or more other living persons. Living person includes a company or association or body of individuals, whether incorporated or not. It does not matter whether it was incorporated or not, but it may be company, association, or body of individuals. It is not only natural person, but it includes juristic persons as well. Then legal rules for a valid transfer. So we need to read this. Property must be transferable. Okay. Then number two, transfer and transferee must be competent, and also they must be living interviewers. Then competency is defined under, I think, which section I forget. Then considerations and object. Competency means any person who is competent to contract is competent to transfer the property under Transfer of Property Act. Consideration and object of transfer must be lawful. As we know already, we have read in Transfer Indian Contract Act, lawful consideration and object. Transfer must take place as per mentioned prescribed under the Act, as per method prescribed under the Act. And not only this, but the registration is compulsory, except when the value of the property exceeds rupees 100. And also this is transfer inter vivos. That means it is transfer between living persons, and not thereby testamentary disposition like will or other kind of succession. Then comes who can transfer property. Section 7. Every person competent to contract and having ownership can transfer property. So first of all, he must be competent to contract. And second, having ownership means he must have the title of the property. Ownership, it must be owner, not only position, but he must have ownership. Title of the property. Can transfer property. A minor can be a transferee, but a minor is not competent to be a transferor. So he may be a transferee. Transferee means he can buy the property. Okay, but a minor is not competent to transfer, but he can transfer to be a transferor, but he cannot himself transfer the property because he is a minor. He cannot be an owner, but he can be a transferee. So persons who are authorized to transfer property can also property validity. Okay, person who are authorized. Who are authorized means who are authorized on behalf of the owner can also transfer the property. Can also be transferred. Then subject matter of transfer. Section 6. We need to read subject matter. First of all, we read in section 5 what we read meaning of transfer, right? So in section 7 we read competency, and section 8 we are going to read the subject matter. Every kind of property can be transferred, of course, movable property, except in few cases, but following properties cannot be transferred. So it is given in a manner that which cannot be transferred, rather which can be transferred. Of course, movable property can be transferred, but what kind of property cannot be transferred? What kind of property does not come under Transfer of Property Act? Chances of an here apparent here, okay, it's maybe mere space successionist or something like that. Then right of re-entry, right of easement is also no, I didn't. Transfer of easement, yes, transfer of easement. Easement cannot be transferred. Restricted interest which is not absolute but restricted, means limited. Right to future maintenance, this cannot be transferred. Right to sue, this cannot be transferred. Transfer of public office, salary and pension, this kind of things. Public office, number 1 public office, number 2 salary, and number 2 pension, number 3 pension, these things cannot be transferred. The language of this note is given in in very short, okay, and very easy but not detailed. Formalities for transfer, section 54. So we need to write in exam formalities as well, although it is given in section 54. So rules relating to transfer property by reading. I'm revising section 5, meaning of transfer. Then after writing the meaning of transfer, if possible, then write the barrack same to same as much as possible. If not, then that's okay. You can write legal rules for valid transfer. Means you can write essentials of transfer. Then comes section 7, who can transfer property. Then competency. Section 7 deals with the competency. Section 8, subject matter. Then section 54, we need to write in exam. Section 54, that is formalities for transfers. It says very important. Movable property. Immovable property. Formalities may be as regards to movable property as well as immovable property. In case of movable property, it may be transferred orally or by writing. Orally means by delivery of possession. It includes an example is by delivery of possession, because it's immovable property. Of course, it is transportable writing by executing agreement, but in case of movable property, it's different. So movable property is of course divided into two classes: tangible and intangible. Tangible means which has physical existence. Intangible, which we cannot touch or feel, means like intellectual property right, copyright, patent, trademark. These are intangible. Intangible is value of rupees 100, value of 100 rupees or above, registration mandatory. In case if the value of the property exceeds 1,100 rupees, then registration mandatory, means it must be restored, and in a non-registration makes it invalid. If the value of the property is less than 100 rupees, registration is optional only. Then intangible, in all cases registration compulsory. Then comes property which cannot be transferred, which is given in section 6. That's important. General rule: every kind of property can be transferred, but following properties cannot be transferred. We have found it section 6. Yes, here, see, subject matter of transfer. Section 6 is given here also. And we are going to again read it, section 6, elaborately. So general rule: every kind of property can be transferred, but following properties cannot be transferred. Sons of your apparent, space succession is. Okay, we're going to read this elaborately, but I'll read it in what, in my next video, not in this one. Here I am only reading rules relating to transfer property. So for part 2 you can see, part 3 and part 1 you can see in the comment section. I'm making these videos very short because it's better if I make it short.